This is Big Podcast.
All right. David here in the Red Room. And I'm breaking the fourth wall just to give you a little bit of behind the scenes on how I do this podcast. Normally, for this podcast and most podcasts, I keep it evergreen. I'm not talking about any specific events. I'm not really doing dates or times or anything that's very specific, and most of it's not even timely. But I'm going to change that for this episode and let you know I am right now recording this at 11:48 p.m. I'm just starting. It's probably going to run me, 30 or 40 minutes to run through what I want to run through. And that's the nature of what I do. Things get pushed back. There are deadlines. Things get pushed forward. There's a lot of things that go into a podcasting business. And when there's a deadline, there's a deadline. Unfortunately, a little bit behind on some of the stuff related to this podcast, but I'm on it, man. I wanted to let you know that, and just to let you know that this is never perfect. I always think of this as Ice Road Truckers, if you've ever seen that show. They don't wait for clear roads, clear skies. Like the name would suggest, is an icy road. You got spikes on the tires, stuff breaks down, whatever. The load's got to get there, you do it. And that's kind of how podcasting is. Now, can you plan ahead? Yes. Should you? Yeah. Could I have done a better job of that? Maybe. Let's get to it. This is Build a Big Podcast, a marketing podcast for podcasters. If you want to grow your podcast, get more people to your podcast, make a podcast people care about, and make a podcast that makes you money, you are in the right place. You can find me at bigpodcast.com. This episode, it is the audio edition of the newsletter that is called Big Podcast Insider. You can get it delivered to your email box every week. If you want to subscribe, see the links, see the images, see any videos that I'm talking about, you can go to newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 227. Here's what we're going to cover. 5 rules for great podcast artwork. A podcast promo idea. You're going to love this. Behind the scenes at HBO. I got some related podcast production tips for you. When everyone has a podcast. Again, this is the audio edition of my weekly newsletter. You can find it, newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 227. This episode of Build a Big Podcast is brought to you by Riverside.fm, a virtual studio that makes recording and editing at the highest quality possible accessible to anyone. I saw some people talking about tariffs. Oh my gosh, equipment's going to go up. Yeah, it is. That's the reality of it. But at the same time, the cost of doing a podcasting business, it has never been cheaper. Think about this. You can record somebody no matter where they are in the world. It's going to sound like you're in the same room. That's what Riverside is going to let you do. You're going to look and sound your best, even if you've got a basic mic, a webcam. There's some AI tools that are going to help you do that. You want to promote it? You want social media clips? There are AI tools for that. It makes editing, recording, and marketing your episodes so easy. Take advantage of better SEO. You're going to get instant transcriptions powered by AI with 99% accuracy. It's accurate, reliable, and supports more than 100 languages. I want you to check it out for free. This is how to do it. Go to riverside.fm. They're going to give you a free account. It is not going to cost you a thing to look under the hood, take it for a spin, do an interview, do a couple of interviews, see how it works for you. And if you want to use all these tools that I'm talking about, the studio quality recordings, lightning fast editing, instant transcriptions, something they call magic clips, those are AI-powered highlights, you're going to get all these things on that free trial. Take a look and take a listen to yourself. You're going to sound great. Like I said, no matter where any guests are in the world, they're going to sound like they're in the same room with you. You're going to love it. Riverside.fm. Go get your free account. They'll give you a couple of hours. If you want to stick around, I've got a discount code for you. That's Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST. Go to riverside.fm. Get that free trial. If you want to stick it out, get the 15% discount with code Big Podcast, BIGPODCAST. All right, I go from thing to thing to thing on this. All of them about podcasting. When I go from one thing to the next thing, you're going to hear this sound. That's how you know I'm moving on. That's how you know. If you want to see any related videos, images, you want the links, you just want to read what I'm talking about, go to newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 227. You ready? 5 rules for great podcast artwork. I've talked a lot about great podcast artwork over the years, and this is always controversial, at least with a few people, because I tell people, do not put your photo on that 2x2 image or 1.5x1.5 image or however small these images are. Use the real estate that you have to get your message out. Most people do not know who you are. If you're Oprah, Great. Dan Rather? Great. Taylor Swift? Great. I'm talking about household names, not just somebody in your niche. And you may say, oh, but people in my niche know me. They know me. Yeah, people in your niche know you. What about the people that you're trying to attract? You want to grow your podcast? Think about this. Before people listen to you, they are going to see you. And they don't want to see you. They want to see your show art, episode art, logo, something that lets them know what they are getting. If I look at a picture of a middle-aged white guy, I say, I don't know. Is that guy going to talk about sports? Or is he talking about the manosphere? Or, oh, I got it. He's sitting in his basement, getting high with his friends, talking about the best flavor of Doritos. You don't know what he's going to talk about. You want some elements that act as a first impression, they catch attention, they set expectations. Good design isn't a decoration, it is an invitation. It is not an ego stroke for you. It is designed to bring people in, letting them know what they are getting before they press play. Because they don't know what they're going to get, they're not going to press play. When I was in the music industry, people would send me these demos, not just demos, full-on albums sometimes. And one guy's like, yeah, man, you got to listen to it twice to really get it. And I'd hear this a billion times. Man, you really should be smoking something before you listen to it. No. I shouldn't have to listen to it twice. I shouldn't have to be high to get what it is that you were doing. I should be able to get it right away. And your podcast is the same idea. I mentioned 5 rules. Let's talk about them. 1, less is more. You do not have a lot of space to deal with. What I say, 1.5 by 1.5, 2 by 2, whatever it is. It's not a lot of space. It's not like you're working with a billboard here. And like a billboard, people are more or less driving by that little square you've got on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're putting it online. They're not going to do like those guys are telling me, oh man, you really got to take a second look. You really got to dive deep into the description. No. People aren't doing that, man. You got to get their attention. So less is more. No more than 5 words in your podcast cover art. That's the rule. Anything more, and the font size is going to have to be so small to fit everything in. It's going to be too small to easily read on a mobile device. Make it obvious what people are getting. This podcast, build a big podcast. 4 words. Do it under 5. You're going to have plenty of room to work with. No fancy fonts. That's the 3rd thing. No handwritten fonts, no cursive style fonts that make people work to figure out what you're trying to say. You know, some people can't even read cursive. A friend of mine sent me something. I said, dude, this looks great, but you know kids can't read cursive now. He said, yeah, I checked with my wife. It turns out that's true. So you want somebody under 30? Yeah, they might not know cursive. These handwritten fonts trying to be fancy. No. Don't do it. No fancy fonts. That's rule number 3. Number 4, no dark text on a dark background or light text on a light background. This matters. You don't know if somebody's outside reading it in sunlight. You don't know if somebody's got maybe vision problems. They need the contrast. Make it obvious for people. That's what all these rules are about. Making it obvious. Black is black, not kind of black, sort of gray. If you ever print a book, they're going to tell you what percentage of black the black font should be. Why? Because people need that contrast to successfully read the book. And you need to think about that contrast with your podcast artwork. Black on white, black on yellow, black on light blue, not black on gray, black on black. This isn't art here. This is a tool for you to get listeners. And again, if you want new listeners to come in, not just the people who are already familiar with you, you need to be thinking about these things. Finally, no text on top of a photograph or complicated background. Again, you got 1.5 inches, 2 inches square, not a whole lot of room to work with. Don't get fancy. No complicated backgrounds. If you're using a photo of yourself, I know some people can't resist it. Don't put text on top of that photograph. Make it obvious. If I had to sum this up, that would be it. Make it obvious. You want these rules in writing? Cut them out, print them out, put them next to your computer when you're designing. Get them. Newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 227. Hey, I want to talk to you about Big Podcast AMP. AMP stands for Audio Monetization Program. This is you working with me. And if you want the things that this podcast is about, growing your podcast, making a podcast that people care about, making a podcast that has money attached to it, and that money is yours. You are not just spending it, you are making it. Big Podcast AMP. you want to take a look at this. It's bigpodcast.com/amp, bigpodcast.com/AMP. Podcast promo idea. I saw this meme. You can see it linked, newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 227. It caught my attention because of its message. It's definitely something that I can relate to. It's about being in the zone and being distracted, how long it takes you to get back into the zone. Picture paints 1,000 words if you want to see it, newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 227. Then I noticed the book promo at the bottom. And again, we're talking about a meme here, something that works on Instagram. A very small image. I was just talking about podcast artwork. This is a great example of using limited space to convey a message. They're going to send it to their friends. Hey, man, can you relate to this? Hey, man, please don't bug me. This is about distraction, and you're being a distraction to me. This is how long it takes me to get back into the zone. They might use it that way. And each time it gets around, either through social media or you're sending it to your friends, it's got this tag for a book on it. And I thought, something like this would be absolutely an amazing way to promote your podcast. I want you to look at it, newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 227. Think about how you could hijack this to work for your podcast, because you can. And if you need help with that, reach out to me via Blue Sky. You're going to see that link at this site, newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue 227. And if you need a guy to come up with this for you, my buddy Nick Nevada, he's an artist out of San Diego. I've known him for years. A great guy. He's in this space. He could listen to your podcast. He could come up with something for you and design it and get it back to you. Your work is done for you. So if you want to hire it out, I've got a guy who can do it. He can do everything on projects like this. Something else related to Nick. I didn't put this in the written episode, but this is something that would be very cool for your podcast. He does this thing called graphic recording, where he can listen to a presentation, a podcast in your case, and he sketches the whole thing out as he's listening. He could do an online video. It works great for a YouTube channel. It's very, very cool. At the end, you've got a PDF, a video, whatever. It is another great way to spread a message. Talk to Nick if you're interested in the concept. Regardless, take a look at it. It's newsletter.bigpodcast.com. It's a podcast promo idea. You will find it at issue 227. Behind the scenes at HBO. HBO, home box office. What do they call it? HBO Max. They've changed names on this thing. It's a streaming network now. It used to be premium cable. That's what we called it back in the day. And there's a short video from HBO that's really going to make you appreciate the modern audio and video technology that's available to us. When HBO really came on the scene, this was about 1982. It's been 40 years or so. They've got this great introduction, HBO feature presentation. You knew that on your television in your home, you're going to get to see a movie you would normally see in a theater. And that was a big, big deal at the time. So there's this great intro, the music, the orchestra. You are fired up about it. And I remember I was sitting in my uncle's living room. He's got HBO. And he said, I saw something about that. It cost them $1 million to do this thing. It's maybe 10 seconds. I said, oh, okay. Every time I've seen it since then, I think about that. Man, that thing cost a lot of money. At newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 227, I've got a short documentary. It's maybe 8 minutes. It shows how they did this video intro for HBO. This is what I want you to get out of it. We are living in a great time when it comes to technology. Even with tariffs, even with supply issues, a crazy economy, it is cheaper than ever to create a podcast. I talked about that in the Riverside ad. Oh, you thought that was recorded ahead of time? No, it's live, man. It's cheaper than ever to do something amazing. The problem that we've got is that technology is limitless. And we often default to convenience instead of imagination. Limited technology, and you're not going to believe watching this HBO thing, how they did this at the time. I mean, it was complicated and it cost a fortune. But that limited technology, it forced creativity. And it still can, if you're willing to look at things in a similar way. I've got 3 ideas for you about how you can spark creativity in your audio work. 1, limit your tools on purpose. Sometimes creative breakthroughs, they happen when you've got fewer options. You try restricting yourself to a single microphone, for example. A basic audio editor, no processing. Maybe record an interview with just one microphone. Don't do that in an important interview. But you could. Imagine if you're doing something on location, do a Bob Barker thing. Again, under 30, you can't read cursive, and you probably don't know who Bob Barker is. A TV announcer, and he had a microphone. He would hold it at his mouth, then he would take that microphone, hold it at the guest's mouth. You could do something like that if it's on location. The point is, a limitation like that's going to push your ingenuity. It's going to change how you do an interview. It's going to get you thinking like these HBO guys from the 80s, making what I would call production magic with a whole lot less than you've got right now. And I don't know what you've got, but I guarantee you, they had a whole lot less. Second thing you can do, add analog elements. Modern technology can be sterile at times. You might want to experiment with analog techniques. Create something unique. A lot of guys in music still do this. You'll see this all the time. Old school drum machines, old school 8-bit samplers. We've got all this amazing technology when it comes to samplers, drum machines, the samples on the drum machines themselves. They're not synthesized drums. So a lot of guys, to do something different, and it sounds new, even though it's old, they're going back to these analog machines. You can do the same thing with your podcast. Now, I'm not saying get the reel-to-reel magnetic tape out, but maybe. I talked about this before. That's how I started. Reel-to-reel magnetic tape. We edited by slicing that tape with a razor blade. You take a chunk out, tape the two loose ends together with sticky tape. You know what you have to do when you've got magnetic tape? You got to be quick, man. You want to get it right because you don't want to edit. You've got a limited amount of tape, so you got to get it done. There's no sitting down, yeah, man, we're just going to go for however long it takes. 4 or 5 hours later, you're still going. No, man, you got to think things through. That's one of the advantages of analog. And it's a novelty. You go on the road doing your thing with one microphone, maybe do it on a cassette. I don't know. I started on cassette, by the way, when I was doing remote stuff. I was doing production. This is when I was in college, a freshman in college. And I've told the story here before. The real quick and dirty is I was a musician. I was studying music. I was going to get a job at the campus radio station. I thought, hey, man, I'll play my own music. And the guy's like, no, you won't. That's not happening. But we can get you on production. So he assigned me a Marantz cassette recorder, an EV mic, not the cool EV mic that I've got now, not an RE20, but some kind of handheld thing. And I was off, man. Cassettes, I don't know, 30 minutes aside, maybe? You had to get good at getting tape. Had to flip that thing over to make sure you didn't miss anything, too. So analog elements, that can get you creative. That can get you getting to the point. If you've got a question that you want to ask it now. You might not have the tape for it in a couple minutes. Think about it. Third thing, focus on story over perfection. When you watch this short video from HBO, and again, it's newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue 227. It's 15 seconds or whatever it is, and it tells a story. And they talk about telling the story. You can do that same thing too. Instead of obsessing over pristine audio quality, lean into imperfections, work with them to tell the story. Think about old radio dramas that relied on sound effects, vocal performances, pacing. A friend of mine, she was a big Prairie Home Companion fan. She had tickets to a live show at the Ryman, famous venue in Nashville, Tennessee. A friend of hers was going to go with her, date, whatever it was, but whoever it was dropped out. She said, you want to go? You're in radio. I said, yeah, I'll go. I can't say I was a fan of the show, but man, watching this thing live, unbelievable. Watching these guys on stage, no special effects, just guys. And there were sound effects. That was part of it. They do a live show, and some dude's doing it like mouth sounds and things. He's got like a bag of tricks whenever they need some kind of sound. I mean, just amazing. Foley artist, they will call him. And they got different people. Everybody's gathered around a single microphone. He focused on the story. He knew about pacing. He knew how to get in and out. I've done a lot of live radio broadcasts. And the most amazing people, they can get in and they can get out and they make it sound flawless. Like these guys who read books. You're seeing this. This is an old school thing. Maybe if you're under 30, under 40, you may not have heard this. NPR, they used to have these guys and they would read a book and there's a different chapter every week. And the pacing on these things, I don't know. I guess the guy was doing an edit on it that he could come in and come out. And at the end, it just seemed like you got the full thing after 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I mean, just incredible. Guys get good when they don't have the options of unlimited tape. And by that, I mean unlimited tape, but also unlimited broadcast space, because we don't have a 30-minute slot, a 60-minute slot. We can go as long as we want to on podcasting. What happens when we take that away? Well, constraints, man. imperfections maybe. And that is often the birthplace of truly memorable audio. Let me go through those three things again real quick. 1, limit tools on purpose. 2, add analog elements. Go old school with something. See how it works for you. It's going to be like a rap record, electronic music, old is new again. And also 3, focus on story over perfection. You want to go deeper? I got some audio for you. I want you to check it out. I've got it linked, newsletter.bigpodcast.com, issue number 227. It's called the 8 Sound Podcast Challenge. Got this idea from a rap producer named Manny Fresh. He did a lot of stuff with an artist named Juvenile. You might have heard the song Back That Ass Up. That's Manny Fresh. 8 sounds is all he had to work with. He explains it. He explains why it was a good idea, how it made him more creative. I know it's going to make you more creative too. You can check out the 8 Sound Podcast Challenge and everything that I'm talking about here at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 227. When everyone has a podcast, well, everybody listening to this podcast probably has a podcast or wants one. But seriously, a lot of people have a podcast. My wife is a photographer. I've talked about her here before, and she works with a lot of influencers, jewelry company or makeup or pills, potions, and lotions, whatever, perfume, that kind of thing. A lot of stuff is very image-oriented, youth-oriented. And I was asking her, I was like, hey, give me some production work with your clients. And she said, no, they've already got podcasts. Everybody's got a podcast. And that is true. Lots of people have podcasts. Podcasts have become the new business card. Everybody's got one. And let's not forget the genres. True crime, 2 dudes talking about nothing. Call back to my artwork segment. There's a podcast for every niche imaginable. I got a funny joke about this. It's a video, actually. It's called When Everyone Has a Podcast. You're going to get a kick out of this. I want you to check it out. It's at newsletter.bigpodcast.com. This is issue number 227. Hey, I'm going to wrap it up. It is late. Thank you for sticking with me. Thanks for listening to Build a Big Podcast. Are you subscribed? If you want to do that, you'll never miss an episode. And to do that, go to bigpodcast.com. There you will see 3 buttons. 1 for iPhone, 1 for Android, 1 an old-fashioned RSS feed. I'm going to get you hooked up on every episode that I release, all of them about growing your podcast, getting more people to your podcast, making money with your podcast, making a podcast that makes your mother proud. You want it? It's available to you at bigpodcast.com. And if you want to go deeper, you want to work with me personally, work with some other podcasters that are working just as hard as you are, it's called Big Podcast AMP. AMP, that stands for Audio Monetization Program. You can find more information at bigpodcast.com/AMP. That's bigpodcast.com/AMP. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Build a Big Podcast. Best wishes on your podcast. And if you want to reach out, you know how to do it. Newsletter.bigpodcast.com. I will see you on the next episode of Build a Big Podcast. A friend of mine, she was a big prairie home companion. A friend of mine, she was a big prairie home companion. A friend of mine, she was a big prairie home companion. Son of a gun. A friend of mine, she was a big prairie home companion. A friend of mine, she was a big prairie home companion. Son of. All right, this is going to the outtake reel. A friend of mine, she was a big prairie home companion. See, this is what happens when you're recording at midnight, man. 12:17 a.m.